What's up, riders? Old Man Ronin here. Welcome back to the channel. Well, today we're doing that long-awaited mod on the Iron 883. Yeah, you know what it is. Stay tuned. Well guys, we finally got the Sissy Bar for the 2012 Iron 883, and the one we decided on was the Gasbox, built in Cleveland, Ohio and purchased through Lowbrow Customs. This is a very high quality chopper style Sissy Bar that'll be perfect for moto camping and all the other adventures we want to take on the Iron. To install the Sissy Bar, you're going to need a specific set of tools, which include a flat screwdriver, a T40 Torx bit, a 3/16 inch Allen bit, 3/8 inch drive ratchet, extension, a 1/2 inch wrench, some Loctite, and of course the bolts supplied by Gasbox and Lowbrow Customs. Now let's get started. So the very first thing you want to do is take off the turn signal lens and bulb. The main reason you want to do it is to make sure you protect it and get your socket in there properly without damaging the turn signal or the brake light, the lens, or the bulb. You want to repeat it on both sides. The next step is to take off all 4 bolts. And again, this is where your Torx bit comes in. Now the rear one has a little plate nut on there, so you won't have to use a wrench on the back one. So what I like to do is get her nice and loose, run her all the way out. And you can see this little plate right here. The front one, you'll need a 1/2 inch wrench on. And of course repeat on both sides. You can see. You will not be using this bolt or that bolt, but you will be using the same nuts. Again, repeat on both sides. Before I like to put anything on, I like to wipe everything down. That way there's no dirt behind it, no imperfections. Sometimes sand and stuff gets in there and in between the little cracks there, and you want to make sure that that's all out on both sides. So nothing better than a little bit of cleanliness, if you know what I'm trying to say. Now you'll notice on the Sissy Bar there's those little like knobs and or extensions, and what those is, it fits really nicely inside of these little slots on the outside of the fender strut. So just kind of pull it out a little bit, make sure she slides down in there, and that way you can start your bolts. Now I'm going to line it up first before I do any Loctite, and that way I make sure that everything goes in its proper place. Then I'll pull it back out and Loctite it. Both sides. And again, the long bolt goes in the front. After you fit your bolts, put the blue Loctite on and slide it into the hole. Find the nut on the back side, get it started. Grab your 1/2 wrench. And this is going to be a little tricky because what you want to try to do is try to hold it straight all the while tightening it up with your ratchet. And you don't want to make it too tight yet because you want to start the back one first. So just get a good little snug and then go to the next bolt. In fact, you can leave your 1/2 wrench there until you do the other one. Let's move the camera and do the other one. This one here is a little bit more unique because it's got this little flange that goes on the bottom, and you kind of have to try to hold it here in the little hole and then put your bolt in, and that's why you don't tighten it down, so you want to make sure she goes in the hole. And then you start to tighten it up. Let's try this first like this. And hopefully it'll start to thread in as it goes in, and it does. I can feel it in the back. Then we'll do our socket. And then you can go to the other side and snug it down first. Let's do that quickly. And we'll do the same here. Put a little Loctite. Don't need much, but sometimes the warm temperature wants to come out. You just work its way in. There it goes. Sometimes it needs a little pop, if you know what I mean. A little harder on this side because of the belt. But again, start to try to finger tight it. And like I say, maybe a little bit harder on this side, but we're going to do the best we can. Needed to clear that one little thread there. Get a finger tight, and then we can get the wrench on the back side. There she's finger tight. Now we'll put the front one on. Again, a little bit of Loctite in this little flange. Down that little hole. Get it started. Now on this side, I'm going to go ahead and tighten it. Oops. I don't know the torque specs on this. Just make sure she's good and tight. And then we'll go to the wrench on this side over here again. And we'll finish tightening the other side. One thing you want to be aware of is there's usually grease on the end of these connectors of the bulb.
you want to take and make sure you wipe your bulb off. It only goes in one way, but you want to make sure that there's still grease on it, because that'll keep the corrosion out of the connectors there. Any of the water or stuff like that will keep the corrosion down. And so you'll make sure you wipe your bulb off before you put your bulb in. I never like to touch the bulb itself. I like to make sure that it's nice and clean. That way my fingerprint's on it and it won't burn it or add any other kind of issues to it. But you snap it on and you're good to go. Again, repeat on the other side. And that is all there is to it. Your Sissy Bar is mounted. Everything's put back together. Everything's tight, copacetic, and you're ready to go. Well, wasn't that a super simple mod? Heck, 4 little bolts, a little bit of Loctite, hand tools you have around the house. But I do want to make a suggestion. If you are using Allen wrenches, don't use the ball type, because those will round your bolts off and you don't want that. So make sure they're straight end in there, so that way you can keep it nice and flush. Even when you're tightening down, make sure you push straight and tighten down. It becomes a little difficult. Sometimes a third hand helps out a little bit on that mod, especially that nut. That way you can get it good and tight. You know, I'm not sure of the torque specs on that. I don't know if it's that critically important. Make sure you tighten it, put the Loctite on, bam, you're good to go. But what it did give us is a chopper style Sissy Bar on a modern Iron 883, and that's going to add to the practicality of the bike as well too, because now it is a Moto Camping machine ish. No, it will give us the ability to carry some stuff with us as we didn't have before. Putting the Biltwell X-Fill series of bags on there, the tent, or the hammock, or whatever we decide to take along with us, and that way it'll give us a more content for you, plus more pleasure and more practicality out of the motorcycle as well too. Well, I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give us a big thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe, hit the bell notification, comment, and share. You know, I do read all the comments and I do respond on all the comments. So, until next time, ride safe and keep her on 2 wheels, baby.